How's it going, guys? I'm your host Tiala. Welcome back to a Singaporean Life, and today I don't really have any exciting viral news to share, neither do I have any food items in front of me to review. It's been quite a long time since I last sat in front of the camera just to talk, and today I want to share with you guys a story of when I was younger. But before that, I actually just got my vaccination yesterday, the first dose. I got a Pfizer shot on my left arm, and thankfully for me, I haven't really experienced any side effects, okay? No lethargy, no headaches, no nausea, no vomiting, no fever and all that. But, it's only been 1 day, so who knows? But thankfully, I haven't had the unfortunate experience of any of that. Just a little bit of soreness in the area whereby they injected me. Not the entire arm, just this small little area here. But yeah. That's basically all there is to it. Feeling great right now, and I guess you can say one of the perks of getting vaccinated is being able to drink coconut water, because my parents did buy that for me as well, so I'm very thankful to them for that. And I don't know why it is with all this rage about taking coconut water before and after getting the vaccination. I guess it's sort of like a traditional way, or like a Asian style of thinking, that the coconut water can help to relieve some form of heatiness that comes from the injection, right? Since people have been reported getting fever, so they sort of attribute it to heatiness, and drinking coconut water can help to cool down the body. I think that's the logic behind it, but I honestly don't know if there's any scientific reasoning to back this up. But coconut water is great, it's delicious, so definitely go ahead and try it out. Whether or not it works, I guess it doesn't matter. You guys should definitely try it out anyways, okay? Now, the story I wanted to share with you guys today from my younger days is I had a severe phobia of needles back when I was younger. Okay, not really needles. I guess you could say injections. Yep, just injections. I would be screaming like a pig and crying, like a pig getting sent to the slaughterhouse. It was super embarrassing, and this lasted all the way until like the end of my primary school life, when until I was 12. Okay, afterwards I sort of just got over it, but I'll go through that in a bit. Okay, so yeah, I didn't care where I was, whether it was for the yearly flu jab that I had to take at my family doctor, or in a public place at the clinic, or whether it was inside of school. Back in primary school, I think you had some compulsory vaccinations that you had to take for chickenpox, and I don't know what else. But apparently if you took them elsewhere, you can skip the one in school entirely. So yeah, I didn't have mine elsewhere. I had mine in school, if I'm not wrong. And I think you also have it in secondary school as well, if I'm not wrong. When you go to army, they also gave you 2 jabs, one for tetanus and the other one for, I don't know what the other one is. But yeah, basically throughout your entire life in Singapore, they'll be giving you vaccinations after vaccinations, whether you like them or not. I think your parents can opt them out of it, but I don't think any Singaporean parent is actually stupid enough to be on the side of the anti-vaxxers. So that's kind of good news, I guess. And yeah, I was scared shitless. Every time there was an injection, I'll be crying, I'll be screaming. And back in primary school, I remember there was this one time they actually had to call my parents because I just refused to take it. I didn't care that all my classmates were looking. I didn't care that all my teachers were looking. I was just crying and screaming, huddled up in a corner inside. I think that was the music room or something. Yeah, when where they set up the place for the injection. So yeah, I was huddled up in a corner, crying, screaming. No, I refused to take it. They had to call my parents to convince me to take it. My parents didn't come down because they were working, obviously. So they had to call my parents to convince me to take it. And eventually, I think I did take the injection. So yeah, but I think no, it was over the course of a few days. So it will be according to your register number in class, and my surname being a T. Mine was all the way at the bottom, so mine was on not on the first or second day. I think it was on the 3rd day, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, I really dreaded injections, and in the end I took it anyways. Okay, and a lot of advice that the doctors, nurses, and even your parents give if you're scared of taking the injection is simply to not look at it. Okay, because they don't want you to see the needle going into your body. I'm not sure if that actually works because I was still scared shitless whether I was looking at it or not. A lot of times they had to push my head away and force my head to one side to not look at it. Regardless of whether I was seeing it or not, I was still crying and screaming. So I don't think that really helped. And in secondary school, I sort of just overcome the fear naturally. I'm sorry if you guys were expecting some sort of motivational story or whatnot. No one motivated me. I did not get any pep talk from anyone. I did not, do anything special to help me overcome my fear of injections. I did not like take a needle every day and imagine that it was going to my arm. No, I didn't do any of that. Basically, all I did was when the time came for my vaccination in secondary school, I can't remember if the first one I got was in school or was at my family doctor. So I can't remember which one it was, but either ways, when I thought that, okay, you know what, I am past the age of 12, I should be more brave, it's a fresh start, and yeah, that was basically it. I just willed myself to not be afraid, and this really teaches me one very important thing, is that the human mind is a very powerful tool. Okay, it is so powerful because there is nothing that you cannot overcome, especially if it's a mental barrier, if you set your mind to it. And that is basically the main topic that I sort of want to talk about today. Okay, overcoming mental barriers and mental health in general. Okay, I know recently there's been a lot of talk in mental health in the news and media and all that kind of jazz, but where exactly do you draw the line is my question. Okay, I feel that a lot of the younger generation nowadays, they get stressed out too easily, and then they'll be like, oh no, I need to take a mental break for the sake of my mental health, my mental well-being, and all that kind of stuff. Like, sure, I get it, if like everyone gets stressed out, right? But if you can't handle that little bit of stress, then I don't even know what to say. It's like once you encounter that tiny bit of stress, and then people and the younger generation will be like, oh no, I can't take this anymore, I need a break from all of this, and yada yada yada. Okay, I feel like it's too much already. Sure, mental health is important, don't get me wrong on this, but I feel that nowadays they are just too strawberry like, okay, for lack of a better word. Okay, they cannot stand the minimum amount of mental pressure needed. Everyone's limits and tolerance levels are different, but the type of things that I'm seeing is so trivial, and call me old-fashioned, or whatnot, but I feel like the old style of like dealing with the problem is to not just think about it or to just get over it. I feel like there is some merit in using that method. Okay, like when how should I phrase this? I come from a more traditional family, okay? So mental, and I'm sure most of you guys, especially the youngsters watching this, are maybe not the youngsters that I'm talking about, but the people around my age, 20 plus, they're probably raised in an environment whereby if you encounter any issue, the solution is just don't talk about it, stop it. That's the most common solution that we get when we face a mental issue. It's just in your head, and I fully agree. As I grew older, I understand that this method of teaching, to some it may not be effective, and it may even push some people to suicide if it's too much. Yes, but at the same time, it also helped strengthen me a lot mentally as I was growing up with this mentality of, to just get it over with. Like, it's not a big problem, it's not a big deal at all. Just get it over with. Like, what's the big deal? What exactly is the big deal that you can't take it anymore? That you just, sorry, I can't even snap my fingers, but yeah, what exactly is the big deal there? Just don't think about it. Or like if it's a mental block, it's basically not a physical problem that you cannot overcome. It's all in your head. And like I said earlier, the human mind is such a powerful tool. You can achieve and do anything you want as long as you want, as long as you will yourself to do it, as long as you put your heart and your mind to it, you can overcome it. Okay, so that's the main message that I want to put out today, is that I feel that mental health, is sort of a bit too overused. Nowadays, like, people are just bringing up mental health every time they encounter that a little bit of stress, and I feel that it's too much. Sometimes we need to push ourselves. Only then can we improve ourselves and become stronger mentally. It cannot be the case whereby every time you encounter an issue, you have to stop, you have to take a break, and and all that kind of stuff. It's not practical to do that, especially not when you go out to society in the future. If you are the type who can't handle that bit of mental stress, how in the world do you work in the future? There's so many different types of stresses out there, but probably the biggest stress, especially in a fast-paced society like Singapore, would be coming from work or school. Okay, for the adults, obviously you'll be coming from work, whether it's from your bosses and all that. And let's be honest, the world is cruel. If I am a boss, okay, if I am your employer, why should I handle someone who can't handle that little bit of pressure, okay, when I can handle someone else who can do the job better without the mental burden, okay, because he doesn't stress himself out. If someone needs to take a break every time they are under a little bit of stress, as opposed to someone else who can just handle the heavier workload, why should I hire this person who needs a mental break every single time I stress them out? It's not practical for my company as a business, as a employer. It doesn't make sense for me to want to hire someone who is, as for lack of a better word, weak-minded as that. I know I may sound harsh, and you guys are probably going to call me out and talk about the importance of mental health. Yes, but it is important. That's what I want to say. But don't overdo it. Know your limits. No one else can tell you what your limits are, because it's different for every person. Okay, I feel that there are times whereby you should definitely try and push the limits. Only then can you become stronger. There are certainly times whereby you really need a break, then take the break. But don't let that be the first choice every single time. Don't let that be the first solution that comes to your head every single time you encounter a problem. And yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you agree with me or do you disagree with me? And yeah, till the next time, I'm your host Jiale. Peace out.